coming up.
Don't have to haul them anywhere. We pick them up. The only thing is different is there's just a different brand on that calf. It's the fairest thing we found that works for everybody.
For 60 years, we've been ranching cattle and building rockets on the same piece of property. That's the way we roll, man.
Learn how 2 ranches in the remote high desert market their calves. Next on The American Rancher. Hello and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minick. In the remote high desert along the Idaho and Utah border, cattle buyers are few and far between. That puts a limit on cow-calf operators when it comes to marketing their stock. Today on the program, 2 operators share how Superior Livestock Auction puts their calves in front of a nationwide buyer base. First, we're with Russell Boyer, a longtime cattleman who calls Snowville, Utah, his home.
This ranch here was my wife's family's ranch. They homesteaded here in 1881. I think we're the 4th generation. My boys are going to be the 5th. And we've combined it with my family's place in Summit County, Utah. And so we run both of them in conjunction, and same thing with that. We're 4th generation down there, same thing. We're strictly cow-calf now. We used to have a dairy, but we closed it down. Our genetics traditionally, the cattle in this country was mainly Hereford-type cows influence. Early 80s, we started putting the black Angus into these cattle, and predominantly now most of these herds are all black around here. Have put a little bit of Simmental, Sim Angus in them, but for the most part, we're just straight black Angus. Here in this Curlew Valley, we're in the desert, so we're pretty short of rainfall here. And so this is kind of an abnormal year here that you would see with our rainfall. We'll never cuss the rain if we get it here. We spend 6 months out of the year wintering on the Utah side, 6 months summering on the Idaho side, and we use a deferred grazing and a rest rotation grazing to order to stockpile our feed in order to secure enough feed for our grazing years. And so very few years that we have to feed hay, but we do have to keep a hay supply on hand in case those winters have that come about that we have to pull those cows off. We have a grazing association. Originally started out as the Curlew Horse and Cattle Association, and that pertained, it had BLM and Forest Service permittees. In about the early 90s, the BLM broke out of that, so that is strictly run under the Forest Service. Grasslands Grazing is that association, but the BLM is still running out there, and we run that in conjunction. And so all the cow-calf man in this valley, we're all members of that original association. We're separate operations, but we run together. Our bulls are selected by us. We have a bull judging committee, so we use the latest genetics that we can buy, purebred bulls, black Angus, and therefore, we're getting a consistent calf. That my neighbor's calf is peas in the pod with mine, because we run together, we trail these cattle year round. Very few of our cows hit a truck, and the only thing is different is there's just a different brand on that calf. How we make that work is that we set up a system that the first year out, the first neighbor will bring his calves into the scales. He weighs, and then the second one. Then the following year, we have that on a rotating schedule. So the guy that was second last year will be first this year. And so we keep that. So everybody's calves get weighed evenly. It's the fairest thing we found that works for everybody on this pool, so nobody monopolizes on the pool. In pooling these cattle, it makes it so the little guy that doesn't have a truckload can get a load together. Be it your son or somebody starting with us, we can have a producer with only 60 head of cows, or a guy that's got 400 head of cows. It allows everybody to be able to capitalize on those top prices. We bid these calves in, we know what our truckloads are going to be. Between our superior rep and us, we can bring these calves usually within just a few pounds of our targeted weight.
You really don't need to be a big producer to sell cattle on Superior.
I don't think Chad knows that I wasn't.
Russell is a longtime customer of Superior Rep Kelly Kunzler.
Numbers always sell well. Guys get a lot of consistency out of numbers. But if you don't have a full load and your neighbor and you can put a load together, I can come by and look at them, see if they match up, tell you. I mean, and then you can get a forward contract and all the benefits we've talked about Superior. You're not hauling them to a sale barn in October, waiting for 8, 10, 12 hours for them to sell, standing there, shrinking the whole time. Health isn't good, stress on the animals is worse. Why Superior Livestock? Number one, the money's good. Don't have to haul them anywhere. We pick them up. Buyer sends the trucks. We pick them up there. And I'm at every delivery, or I have a couple guys that work for me that'll be there if I can't be, but I try to be to every delivery. My son helps me quite a bit. He'll deliver them. We're there. We look the cattle over when they go on. We write the check that day. They can take it to the bank that day. There's no wait time. There's no hold time, and it's good to go.
I've been selling with Superior since my father had started in Summit County, since the second year they were in business. Started in a calf pool down there. And then we come up here and become part of this operation, and we brought Superior into the valley in the early 90s. And the great thing about Superior is, and these ranches that we run in common with, we're able to market these calves. Instead of selling just one weight of calf, we can market our lightweights and our heavyweights, and we commingle those loads together in order for us to be able to ship all our calves and get us a higher premium for our weights on those truckloads.
And sold to you, 137 next on.
In the mid-90s, Superior set the standard for calf vaccinations and value-added programs. Today, cattle buyers will discount animals that are not included within a VAC program. And industry-leading value-added programs such as Superior Source and Age Verified, NHTC, and others are proven to add premiums on sale day.
We're on the VAC 45 program where we wean and precondition, and it allows us to get our cattle in, get the ball out of them, and have a preconditioned calf where that calf can go anywhere here in the United States.
Along with excellent genetics and ranch management, VAC and value-added programs are the best way to increase the bottom line of your cow-calf operation. And Superior Livestock knows that producers like Russell might only get one paycheck a year. Superior is the largest cattle marketing network in North America, and they have the proven reputation to get you the highest possible price for your cattle year after year.
You watch as the summer starts, everybody has their eyes on our first big summer sale. What's the market going to do? Anytime we have a big sale throughout the summer, everybody's watching, and I hear a lot of country buyers say, well, let's see what the cattle do on Superior, then I'll have a better idea what they're worth. Why wouldn't you want to do all you could to make your bottom line bigger? And selling with Superior Livestock on these video auctions, to me, is a no-brainer. I mean, you're getting your forward contract when you want to sell them, not when someone dictates to you, and your money's good. Buyers look at them. There's a buyer for every set of cattle out there. Some cattle will bring more money than others, but there is literally a buyer for every type and kind of animal that we put on Superior.
For so many cow-calf operations located off the beaten path, Superior opens the door to a nationwide base of over 8,000 active buyers. Superior gives buyers access to a steady supply of quality load lot cattle, and competitive bidding brings top dollar for sellers. It's a win-win for everyone.
You know, the country buyers in this area, they left in the early 90s. Our only other avenue was commission houses, and they were far and few between. It's enabled us to sell our calves right here off the farm. Our reps been able to market our cattle from California clean back into Kansas. And we have repeat buyers. We've had one repeat buyer that bought 18, 19 years. For us, Superior, it's the only way to go.
Coming up,
My grandfather said that there's a bunch of guys that think they're going to put man on the moon.
cattle ranching meets rocket science. That's after the break. You're watching The American Rancher.
If you're looking for livestock equipment, whether it be permanent or portable, call Ackerman Distributing at 1-800-726-9091. They are #1 in the nation with portable wheel corrals. Also handle portable tubs and portable alleys, double alleys, loading chutes, manual chutes, hydraulic chutes. AckermanDistributing.com. 1-800-726-9091.
What makes me so proud of 44 Farms is teamwork within our own organization, but also the vast teamwork of producers throughout the United States that have come together to build a great feeder calf program for both the 44 Farms Never Ever program and the new Prime Pursuits program in partnership with Walmart. Please give us a call because we believe that together we can do great things, and the best is yet to be.
Take control of current market conditions on Superior Livestock's weekly video auction. Register your lot load cattle by Tuesday, sell them on Thursday, putting you 2 days from money with the largest cattle marketing network in North America. Superior Livestock's weekly video auction has over 8,000 active and qualified buyers, and they're paying top dollar. Yep. Jump in. The bidding is hot. Call us or click SuperiorLivestock.com to learn more.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. In the past, ranching operations that are off the beaten path were limited in how they could market their cattle. Starting 3 decades ago, Superior Livestock Auction leveled the playing field by putting secluded cow-calf operations in front of a nationwide buyer base. Another ranch that benefits from Superior's market is Connor Springs Ranch, just outside Tremont in Utah. While their story is much like thousands of other Superior customers in remote areas, Superior's network benefits ranching operations of all sizes across the nation.
We're a cattle ranch of approximately 1,000 mother cows, and we have about a 350-acre irrigated farm. We raise corn silage, hay, and other wheats for forage. Ranch with my father, my brother, and my son. Our wives help out. It is a high desert. It's bunch grasses, sagebrush, greasewood, June grass. We have a lot of slough grasses, sloughy, marshy areas, but we also have pretty rough, rocky, June grass covered mountains. We water out of the Bear Lake, which is approximately, 60 miles maybe east of us. There's approximately 300 miles of canal, and we are on the end of the one west canal. The rains we've been getting have been great. I mean, it's at least doubled the production of the grass on the ranch, at least.
We've been through some years where we get 7 to 9 inches of rain, and I'm sure we've kind of learned to live with it. And when it rains like it has this year, we sure don't I heard of some of the folks that kind of complain about we've had this much rain and too much rain, and when you live in the desert, it's kind of hard to cuss too much rain. It's very difficult. It's good stuff. We acquired the ranch in 1953 from the Browning Arms Company. They dispersed of a lot of their properties and in that time frame. And we were fortunate enough to be friends with one of the foremans that were here at their time on this ranch. And there were many in the area that would like to have had the Connor Springs Ranch, but between the friendships between my father and my uncle with the foreman, we got an inside track, and we acquired this property at that time in '53. It was primarily Hereford cattle back in the day. That's all we did have was Hereford cattle. And we started breeding a few Angus cattle with the Hereford cattle and liked the offspring, and they performed well.
We background our replacement heifers and pick our replacement heifers in the late fall, early spring.
They get bred in the 1st of May. We AI them from slick sires, and then we breed them to whatever bulls we choose to pick. It'll be Angus or Hereford or Simmental, and then after we're done, we throw in Angus cleanup bulls.
Where's Pete?
Connor Springs Ranch is also a customer of Superior Rep Kelly Kunzler. As with all Superior customers, Kelly works with Craig and Pete to make plans that make sense. But most importantly, everyone focuses on highly consistent quality from sale to sale.
We'll start right away. Craig and I have already talked about marketing dates. Try to be consistent. We try not to jump around a whole bunch from sale to sale. We usually always hit one of the 4 summer sales, either Billings, the Colorado Week in the Rockies, Winnemucca, or the Sheridan sale. And they seem to fit our type of cattle better. But there's a lot of cattle for sale every year. And I tell these guys, you got to make your cattle stand out. What's going to make somebody look at your cattle versus the group next to you and think, I need to buy them instead of the next group? And these guys and Russ and them do the same thing, but if there's a program, source and age, NHTC, vaccination, program type cattle, and they can do it, legitimately do it, they're all about being able to do that.
Back in the day, 70s, 80s, you had one guy that you were acquainted with pretty much that run around packing 3 or 4 feedlot checkbooks, run around buying cattle. That was the only game in town. A country buyer, so to speak. We then there was a internet deal that come around. You didn't have the exposure you have with Superior. And now with Superior, you have a lot of feedlots looking at your cattle.
The vast number of buyers that view the cattle is the main thing. It goes, you know how that works.
One thing about Craig and these guys, they get us forward contract. Anytime when they want to sell the cattle, they can sell them, get that forward contract. Cattle don't have to go to a sale ring stand. A lot less stress on the animals, a lot less stress on the people. The main thing boils down that we're all in this for is to make a living. And the way things are, you've got to be careful who you do business with. You need to be able to know when you sell something, you're going to get paid for it. I think that's the one thing that stands Superior out above everybody else. Their money has always been good. They have never turned back any contracts.
There's never been any conflict. Shipping and receiving and the sort on them have been fair to both parties. And we've established a buyer that has stayed with us quite a bit, and we've had a good experience with it Superior.
The Connor Springs Ranch shares land with a not-so-average neighbor. Back in the 1960s, Craig's grandfather sold acreage to Northrop Grumman, one of many other companies that helped to develop the Apollo moon launch. Afterward, Northrop developed solid rocket boosters for the space shuttle program. Now, the company is developing boosters for the new heavy-lift space launch system, which is scheduled to carry astronauts on deep space missions in the near future. And the new boosters are tested right in the middle of Connor Springs Ranch land.
The story I hear, my grandfather said that there's a bunch of guys that think they're going to put man on the moon, and they need a secluded place to do it. And of course, he had enough vision that he could see employment opportunities and sold him some ground up here to do his thing, retain the grazing rights on it. That's all he wanted was the grass, and it's such a nice place out there. It's all into the mountains, canyons area that's pretty protected. They also build the airbags for cars, the propellant that sets them off, things like that. So we've been doing this for 60 years with them. We've been ranching cattle and building rockets on the same piece of property. That's the way we roll, man.
After the break, Craig and his family moved cattle in preparation for a test firing of NASA's Next Generation Solid Rocket Booster. Stay with us.
3, 2, 1. If you're in the stocker business, you know exceptional care and good nutrition are the keys to healthy, profitable cattle. The Gain Smart Stocker program provides all the tools you need to minimize stress at receiving, stimulate appetite quickly, and create efficient gains on forage or feed. Plus, feeding Gain Smart makes your cattle eligible for Superior's first ever value-added nutrition program. Learn more about the Gain Smart Stocker program and find a dealer near you at gainsmart.com.
Superior Livestock Auction is the largest cattle marketing network in North America. Superior sells forward contracted and immediate delivery load lots of cattle on video auction that are broadcast on satellite TV and streamed online. Superior does it by marketing your cattle to the largest qualified buyer base in the nation. Your cattle never leave your ranch until delivery day. Your Superior rep will be there when your cattle are sorted and loaded, then write you a check when it's done. Simple as that. Superior Livestock Auction sells more cattle each year than any other livestock auction in the U.S., giving you the best opportunity for top dollar on your cattle. Superior's #1 focus is getting you the best paycheck possible. Most producers only get one paycheck a year, and that's why more cattlemen and women trust Superior Livestock Auction to get the most out of every sale. Your hard work deserves top dollar. So call Superior or discover more online to learn how Superior Livestock Auction can work for you.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. Just outside Tremont in Utah, Craig Holmgren and his family operate the Connor Springs Ranch. They share rangeland with Northrop Grumman's Solid Rocket Booster Test Facility. So hold your horses. Today, the Holmgrens are moving cattle in preparation for an upcoming test fire of NASA's Next Generation Solid Rocket Booster. This is a cattle drive that's gone on for decades. The Connor Springs Ranch has shared rangeland with the facilities since the early 1960s when Northrop Grumman was part of the Apollo Moon program. With the herd out of the way, thousands of spectators arrived to watch the test. With clear skies and a light breeze, it's a perfect day to witness a piece of history in the making. The Heavy Lift Space Launch System is a key part of NASA's upcoming deep space missions, including a manned mission to Mars.
Area clear of all personnel not required. All safety emergency vehicles are on location.
The crowd waits with anticipation as the final countdown approaches, and then it's all systems go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Activate tool forward and water quench valve.
Well, that's certainly not a typical day raising cattle. But that's all the time we have for today, and we hope you enjoyed the show. To learn more about selling your cattle the Superior way, call Superior at 800-422-2117 or log on to superiorlivestock.com. They'll put you in touch with a Superior rep in your area and help you get the most money for your calf crop. And to find out more about us, visit theamericanrancher.com or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minick for the entire American Rancher team. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Superior.